You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Thank you, Marshall. Bring in experts. You know what? I have webinars on my private site, Rom Wills Raw. And I've done some webinars, where, I'm presenting the information, but I've also had webinars where I've brought in other people. Sometimes bring in an expert. Bring in an expert for something, especially if you're in like the motivation business, or even if you got even if you just working like on a regular job or something, like have continuing education or something like that, right? Or bring in people who could show you something new, right? Now, I've said I've worked retail before. I've also worked in the government, right? Now, when I was working in the government, we would always have like experts come in and talk to us about stuff. Like I remember one time we had a body language expert come in from a federal agency. I'll put it like that, right? And this dude, he could look at just basic stuff and tell what's up with you, right? And he was telling us some little tricks. And then, we had people come in who would teach us negotiation. Then we had one guy come in. His sole purpose was to relax us, to make us laugh, do some stuff for, to laugh and everything, continuing stuff, right? Or like in retail, I actually attended seminars on how to present clothes better, right? In your business, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you have employees, to bring in like an outside expert on something, have like continuing education, something like that, a new way to cook something, or a new way to do something. In fact, you have companies out there that do that. They come in and provide some specialized training. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Now, I know like with me, I'll bring in different experts for webinars and stuff to talk about aspects of what I'm talking about, usually relationships, masculine self-development. So I'll bring in other people, right? But it's nothing wrong with that. You want to always, whether it's yourself or whether it's your employees, you want them to get better. Now, if it's yourself, right, you need to go to some experts sometimes. Find out what's new out there. Find out if there's any changes. Like some of the biggest, they have conferences, trade shows and stuff where they just showing the cutting edge stuff. That's all they're doing is showing the cutting edge things that are going on. And that's very important, because one of the things you want to do, you don't want to get complacent, or you don't want to have your employees get complacent, right? You don't want that to happen, right? Because once you get complacent, all of a sudden, if regardless of what it is, you'll start losing customers because you're not showing them something new, or you're not doing something in a better way. Because like I say, there's always somebody looking at something and say, hey, how can I make this better? How can I make this mousetrap better? How can we make this sales better? When I work sales at a gym, once a month we go to meetings, and it was like, hey, somebody at a gym or something might say, hey, you know what? I've been doing this, and I've noticed that I'm closing more sales. So they teach it to someone, right? Always learn, always learn, always keep reading. The experts don't necessarily have to be someone that you pay to come in. Understand, if you pick up a book that relates to whatever area of business that you're in, if you pick up a book and look at it, that's still like someone talking to you. They're not right there, but they're speaking to you. There's no such thing really as an objective book. They try to write it objective, but it's still their perspective. So you might read it, go through it, and say, hey, this is something I can do. Or this is a new way of looking at it. Like, look, I'm known primarily for dating coaching, relationships. I always check out other people's stuff, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. It's like, okay, maybe they got a different angle on it. Let me see. Or they see something I didn't see. Oh, wait, that's a different way of looking at it. Right? You want to keep doing that. So anyway, don't be afraid to improve yourself. I mean, you see that happen. Like sometimes on TV, some of these TV shows where they have someone like Gordon Ramsay come in and like tell a restaurant how to do something better. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid. In fact, consulting is a big business. Consulting, seriously, that's a big business because some people get to a level of mastery or they know how to coach other business people. In fact, that's business in itself, right? In fact, I'm gonna talk about that in my next one and stuff, right? I'm gonna talk about that in my next one, serving other businesses. So anyway, right? That's it. That's it for today. Let's go make that money.